Welcome back to another episode of True Wealth Conversations, and I am your host, Dominique Broadway. And I'm excited about every episode. I realize I say that every episode. I'm excited about this episode, but I'm excited about all episodes. But this episode, I was trying to decide, what do I want to talk about, right? And I was in the shower because I have all my best ideas in the shower. As I was just telling my team, I really wish they would make like a little notepad so you can write your notes in the shower, but then take them out and take them to your desk and they're dry. But anyway, maybe I'll figure out how to do that. But I had some really exciting revelations over the past week. One was that I'm no longer a 7-figure entrepreneur, and now that I am officially an 8-figure entrepreneur. And that was exciting and scary and just wow, all at the same time. And realizing too that yes, I've hit this 7 figures and now 8 figures. I would have never even thought about the 8 figures. And now my whole goal is getting to the billion. So I was talking to my husband this morning and I said, one of the things I've decided to do is anything that is not getting me closer to my billion, I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. I'm not touching it because it's getting me further away from my goals. So one of the things that I would like to talk about today are kind of just the 3 limiting beliefs or things that I had to push through to help me get to this 8 billion. Okay, I'm sorry, not billion. I said the billion, I'm not even there yet, but the 8 figures. So one of the first things is thinking small. Thinking small. I realized recently, or I would say over the last few months, at how small I had been thinking before I was able to hit the 7 figures and now the 8 figures. I remember years and years ago, when I was, running my business, and I've told you guys about the ups and downs that I've had. And one of the things that I had decided after just being burnt out was that I no longer wanted a big business. I was like, look, I'm fine making my few $100,000 a year. That's good. I'm just going to stay here forever and rock out and help a few people and be fine where I am. And I finally realized just now that I was doing something that I would never, ever do again. I was thinking small. I realized that a lot of times as a woman of color, as people of color, as a man of color, whatever, we are almost trained to think small. A lot of times we're trained to think small because society, America, whatever, our family wants to protect us. When you think small and think about, okay, I'll just do a little bit of this and a little bit of that, that's your way of protecting yourself, to be honest. Because when you're trying to go after bigger goals, that means that you're risking more. That means that you're going to have to make yourself hella uncomfortable, and nobody likes to be uncomfortable. And I realized that I had been thinking small. So if right now you are feeling like you're in this place and you have big goals, but you're scared to even talk about those goals, I want you to take a step back and think, are you thinking small? Right? Take out a piece of paper and write down your wildest dream. Your wildest dream. For me, one of my initial wildest dreams was to have a multi-million-dollar business where I have employees and, we're helping thousands of people. And that was a goal that I had. But life started beating me up and I was like, oh, that's too much. I'll just stay here. This is comfortable. I'll stay making a few $100,000 a year. This is good. This is comfortable, right? I let those other goals of thinking big, my bigger goals fade away. And then I finally got back to realizing, no, I'm going to think bigger. So some of the bigger goals that I stated, they're here now. I have the multi-million-dollar business. I am a CEO. I have employees, right? Because I allowed myself to start thinking bigger again. The bigger goals and dreams that I have is being the leading financial education technology company in the world, being a $1 billion company, maybe being sold, maybe going public. That's the next big goal. And then I have even bigger goals that I haven't even shared. I vocalized to a few, but I haven't even shared that will help me get to the trillion. Because I'm not talking just million. I've hit that. Now I need to go to billion and then trillion, right? So that's the first thing I need you to do is stop thinking small. Stop thinking small. That one step alone can just seriously rocket ship you to your next goal and rocket ship you to wherever it is that you're trying to do, wherever it is you're trying to be. Because if you're thinking about making 100,000, you're going to make 100,000. If you're thinking about making 100 million, you're going to make 100 million. It's simple as that. As one of my favorite quotes that my husband always says, if you believe you can, you can. If you believe you can't, you can't. It's simple as that. So stop thinking small, okay? So the next thing that I realized was in my way was procrastination. I am the queen of procrastinating, y'all. I still am. I'm not gonna lie, I haven't completely fought through it. It's a lot better than what it used to be, but a lot of us battle with procrastination, right? And procrastination is honestly just your brain or subconscious preventing you from doing something that's probably going to make you uncomfortable when you're doing it. As simple as that, right? So it's also, again, our brain's way of sometimes trying to protect us. It's like, I don't want to open that piece of mail because it may say that I owe some money, so I'm not going to open it. Or I'm going to procrastinate opening it. Or I'm not going to open that email because it may say something negative. And when I open it, I'm going to see that it says something negative, and then I'm going to be uncomfortable and it's going to affect my day. So I'm going to not do that. I'm going to procrastinate on doing that activity. Or I don't want to, I don't want to go see a loved one who's in the hospital because I know when I go see them, I don't want to see them in that state. So I'm just not going to go. Right? And you procrastinate. And then maybe, God forbid, something happens to them and you're like, oh, I wish I did not procrastinate and do that thing. And we do the same thing within our business, right? We procrastinate. We don't get it done. The one thing that I have noticed about myself, all of my friends who are multi-millionaires, and even other billionaires that I've met, they fight through the procrastination. They get the shit done. As simple as that. If you realize day after day that you're not getting the tasks done that you need to get done in your business or your personal life, you have to figure out a way to push through that. What I like to do is when I make my to-do list, all the things that make me the most uncomfortable, all the things that I'm just like, oh my God, I do not want to do, I cannot do, I do those first. You know why? Because once you get through the hard stuff, the rest of the stuff is easy. You just kind of go throughout your day. So that has been a big game changer for me. Getting through the hard things in the beginning, okay? The other thing is self-sabotage. Self-sabotage is, it's exactly what it says. Literally us sabotaging ourselves. Sometimes in life, we may have other people come along and try to sabotage us, right? That's its own battle. But the worst thing that we can do is sabotage ourselves. And sometimes we can do this in numerous ways, right? Sometimes self-sabotage isn't necessarily causing physical harm to yourself. It can literally be as simple as over drinking the day before an important meeting, right? You're sabotaging yourself. You know that you are setting yourself up for failure because you've gone out, had too many drinks, and now you got to walk up into this important meeting, not your best self, right? It could be ordering the pizza when you know you need to order the salad. Sabotage, right? Sabotaging your diet. It could be showing up late to something that you know you need to be on time for. And a lot of times subconsciously, we sabotage ourselves because we internally don't feel as though we deserve certain things. As simple as that. And if that's something you're dealing with, I would say try to find a therapist or someone you can speak through, or try to figure out why you're sabotaging yourself. For many of us, the reason why we aren't hitting certain levels of success, it ain't nobody else, it's us. And that's one of the hardest things that you can realize and face. But once you do realize that, baby girl, possibilities are endless. Because I used to deal with self-sabotage. And when I got out of my own way, this is how I got to where I am. It was a big shift for me. But I realized that it's all my fault. I am in my own way. So imagine if you were able to get out of your own way and the possibilities that could be ahead of you, right? So another thing, and the last thing I want to talk about, and this is something that I noticed that women do, men do it too, but women really do it, especially Black women. We try to do it all. We literally try to do everything. Everything, right? I know my mom used to joke and say, oh, I'm the jack of all trades, right? And I would follow up and the master of none, right? Now listen, not everyone needs to be the master, the master of everything, but sometimes, and it's great to be the jack of all trades. I can do a lot of things, right? When I started my business, I made the course, help with designing the course, shot the videos, edited the videos, sold the course, did the customer support for the course. I can do it all. But does it make sense for me to do it all? No. If I literally continue to try to do all of those things, there will be no growth in the course or in the business or in anything else in my life. There will be no scaling ability. There would be a lot of unhappy people in my life. My husband would probably be unhappy because I wouldn't have time to be with him. My children would be unhappy because I wouldn't be able to spend time with them. So my family and friends. And I had to realize that I can't do it all, right? I need to find people who are experts in their own space, who are masters in their own certain things, and bring them on so that they can go and be great at what they are great at, and I can focus on what I am great at, right? I was talking to my CFO the other day, and he was basically telling me that any activity that isn't going to bring me in at least, it was like $50,000, I shouldn't be doing it. Because that right now is what my time is for. I shouldn't be getting up out of bed for anything less than X amount of dollars based on where I am now. So for me to be scrubbing the toilet in my house, I'm literally taking money away from my family, right? That activity that I can pay somebody else something to do, right? That's still good money for them. It doesn't make sense for me in my skill sets, in my ability, in what I can command financially with my time. So when I realized that I didn't need to do it all, I can go and get an amazing nanny to take care of my children while I go and work and be able to make the dollars to pay the nanny. And she can do a great job at playing with them and teaching them and giving them the care that they need that I may not be as great at doing, to be honest, right? I'm a great mom, but she's a much better teacher because that is what she is an expert in. That's her field. So when we learn, especially as women of color, to stop trying to do it all, we can all get to our own respective goals a lot quicker. Stop spreading ourselves thin, right? And then we can all start propelling and reaching our goals a lot faster. But if you're constantly trying to do it all, you're going to be tired, you're going to be burnt out, and you're never going to be able to accomplish the things that you're supposed to accomplish and really honing into the skills and the expertise that is only yours, that nobody else can do. Okay. So these are the top 4 things that have been on my mind. As I said, 1 is thinking small, right? Self-sabotage, procrastination, and trying to do it all. Once I've gotten over these 4 things, it has helped me to reach my own level in what I define as my own level of success. So I challenge you to figure out what those things are that are limiting you. If you relate to any of the ones that I've talked about, take action. Figure out how to push past them so that you can start reaching your own level of success, whatever that means for you, hitting your own goals, and honestly just living your very best life on your own terms. So thank you again for tuning in to another episode of True Wealth Conversations with Dominique Broadway. I'll see you soon.